So lovely to meet you both, and I absolutely love the show. So,
Thank you.
but I must say, the moment I saw you, I was about to break into a song from Glee.
Oh,
But
please, please, I want to hear it.
so, but it's really interesting, exciting. So I'll start with you, Camila. I was about to call you Julia because that's your character that I've been watching the series. Playing Julia, I mean, who's conflicted between love. She's also kind of discovering herself and, caught between two men. What was that like? And being back in season two, because there's a lot of pressure since season one was so good.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was beautiful to go on that journey with her to self-discovery because I was just she went through a lot. I mean, she had a lot of tough decisions to make. So seeing her arc throughout the season was just very special. And even though I didn't agree with a lot of things that she did, getting to go on that journey with her was really fun. Especially like the comedy aspect of it. But coming back to it, I think it was fun. I think it, like you said, it was more it's more of a season of self-discovery and getting to dive more into this relationship and getting to dive more into my friendship with Maximo and other different characters. I think it was just really fun and exciting.
And sure, as I said, I was about to break out into a song from Glee, but I can't sing to save my life. I'll leave the singing to you. And what was it like being part of this show after having worked in such popular franchises yourself in English? And this is a bilingual show.
I mean, it's completely different in the, I'm not having to sing and dance and do music, but and it's like a half hour versus an hour. But I think it's completely different in the sense of where I'm like, it's how cool is it to be a part of a different show for a different culture and that speaks Spanish and English. I mean, that's something that I've never done, and that and it's great that I don't even have to compare it to something I've done previously because it is so different and in such a great way. But I'm glad that it's like happening all at the perfect time in my life, because I feel like I have more of a desire to learn now than I ever have. And so I'm kind of like a sponge trying to soak up as much as I can.
I was hoping to see you sing and dance in this one. Well, that did not happen. So, but
Oh, you might see me bust a move and dance a little bit. Who knows?
Looking forward to that. Now, since this is set in the 80s, what was it like revisiting a time that was actually great when it came to music? Fashion, many people may agree to disagree, but what was it like? I'm sure, Kevin, you were not even born in the 80s, so yeah.
I think the soundtrack for this show adds so much life to, and like you're saying, the music in the 80s is so incredible and great that when you have that music backing this story, it just adds to it, and it just makes
too.
Yeah, it makes everything kind of come to life. And as soon as you just hear like an old like 80s synth or something, you're just like, oh, I remember that. Like even if it's just from movies in the 80s.
Yeah. So what was it like for you, Camille? I mean, the fashion and, just playing a young teen back in the 80s. That was how old I was in the 80s. What was it like for you? Because you weren't born in the 80s.
Well, for me, it was really fun, especially with Julia because she's a fashion designer. So getting to like experience, her whole journey to make it and like with his mom Diane, I think it was really cool because I got to learn, like I love fashion, but I'm not really hands-on like Julia is. So getting to like see the different patterns that she works with, her drawings and stuff like that, I think it was really cool. The colors that were used back in the day. In season one, you get to see a few of her dresses that she made, which I thought it was so beautiful. Not a lot of people agreed on episode 3 of season 1, but like what's his name? The Dante. Anyways, it was really fun. It was really fun to experience fashion through Julia's eyes.
And also interesting, it's a bilingual show because also it portrays Mexico in this very light, breezy light, then compared to the narratives we've seen in the past, which have been gritty and a little dark. So what would you want to say about that? And also with the Mexican industry has been a very thriving industry.
Yeah, I mean, I think that our, writers, creators, I think their biggest thing that they want to achieve is authenticity, and and really showcasing a lot of the sides that maybe you haven't seen commercially in entertainment in in the US. And I think that that's really cool. We have Mexican writers writing what they know, and I think that's such a cool thing to be a part of versus having people that don't know what it's like writing it.
I think that's what makes the show so authentic. I think a lot of studios have tried, maybe attempted to make a show like this, but only with like an American team. For this, like our creators were really involved with Latin creators, so it wouldn't just be the stereotypical stories you usually see. So that's what makes the show so authentic, because it actually does come from Latin writers that actually could relate to the story and not make it like this little puppet.
And I think Apple's done a great job with
absolutely.
Authenticity with with her and with other characters that like
Rafael
Hector is from Spain and they have his character from Spain, keeping everything authentic. I think it's really cool because you don't see it a lot.
Absolutely. And also you could revisit the 80s. Which part, if there's anybody who would want to meet from the 80s, who would it be? And what aspect of the 80s would you want to revisit if you were given a chance to time travel?
Maybe like Madonna.
That's what I was gonna say, Madonna.
Billy Idol.
Oh yeah.
Everyone's saying Madonna.
The Police.
Oh.
I haven't heard that in a long time.
I would have loved to experience, I always mention
Duran.
I would have loved to experience New York in the 80s. I've heard some fun stories. I know, but I would have loved to do that. Fashion and just like everything.
That would be intense.
I know, but I'd love to.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You.
We forgot Vam Chord. I mean, it would have been interesting. And anyways, thank you so much. Gracias.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Hi, this is Hola. ¿Cómo estás? This is Puja from India.
Great.
Hi.
Hola. Sorry that we cannot say hi in Indian. So in Hindi, that's the language. Yeah. Namaste. Exactly. Namaste.
Nice to meet you both. I thoroughly enjoyed the show, and especially the mother-daughter banter. So Regina, I mean, your character is going through a lot in this. What was it like being, Sarah? She is dealing with her sexual identity.
Yes.
Then she's having to deal with her mother.
Yeah.
Too much for a girl to handle.
Yeah, it was really challenging this second season to me, to Sarah, and it was like a really fun and this new journey with her. I love the writer's job about her storyline, this arc till the first episode till 10, and yeah, it was like very challenging, and I'm so excited to see this new season. I haven't seen
Yes.
it. But yeah, thank you so much.
Even though we know, obviously, because we wrote the episodes, we are always waiting to see it and re-see it, because you can discover in this season many levels, deeper levels in all the characters and all the relationships has like a amazing and crazy and enduring development. So that's very exciting. We are
I
thrilled.
was about to call you Nora, Vanessa, but both your children have driven you crazy in the show. There is Maximo and there's Sarah, know, and you're so natural. You were just like any other mother. You could be my mother at home, just going crazy with her two kids.
Yes.
But you have such an illustrious career for over 3 decades. How easy or challenging has it been to keep reinventing yourself over the decades, because things keep changing?
Yeah, thank you. Because I think that there's no competition. I'm competitive, but with myself. So I try to be better not with each project, but each day. Even though in a call, a long call day, I I try to do my next scene better than the last one scene in the same day. So I have to learn more, to listen to myself and the others and try to nurturing myself and my acting from the others. If I'm not open to them as Nora, in order to reconnect with her daughter, she has to be open beyond her own fate and fanatism. So also as an actress, I have to be open and humble and keep studying, not comparing myself with the others, but with my last scene or my last project, in order to develop new ways of, to modernize that word exists in order to ¿cómo dices actualizar?
Reinvent, modernize, reinvent.
Renew, in order to renew and be on time with the form of, the performance. Yes, and the delivery.
Absolutely.
Try to be truly, truly organic and modern.
Totally. And since both of you represent different phases of, Mexican, the film industry, it's thriving, the TV and film industry. But now this is a bilingual show. So people outside, Latin America and Mexico are now going to be watching this. So what's that like?
It is a pleasure because, it's the first bilingual show of Apple TV Plus, and it's like a dream to be part of it. And if you are seeing like our characters are Mexican, we are Mexican, and it's like very delicious to see generally work, and it's just like it's unreal, and I'm so happy to be part of it.
We love it. And also we can show to the world that we are much more than this apology of criminalization of Latin American people.
Yeah.
There has been too long talking about that, and mainstream has done a lot against our identity as human beings.
Yeah.
And creating this archetype of only prostitutes and narcs. And we are much more than that. And I'm so proud of my woman, that, American woman, and the woman that I know, the tribe that I come from, my mom, my aunts, my grandmoms, all the people that I have been working since 20 years in social labor. There are, women and feminine and
yes, Vanessa, you were talking about Latin American women, and
Yes.
I was
Regina says something beautiful. Can you repeat?
Yeah, I was saying that it's not about, it's all about human beings, not about nationalities. Yeah.
And love. And how to love yourself and the others in a proper way, or a healthier way, in order to dream big.
Absolutely. No, I totally agree. And I'm glad that the show is coming out, and would want to visit your country as well. So lastly, since it talks about being back in the 80s, Vanessa and I have been part of 80s. Regina, I don't think you were born in the 80s. But what is that one thing that you enjoyed about the 80s?
What you want to talk about that? I love the 80s. For me, it was my teenage. I was like younger than Sarah, but that time I was a little bit younger than Sarah. But for me, it's a magnificent, wonderful period, music and movies and literature and arts. And I think it's a very important, most of all, because of my age. I think for me, 80s is the soundtrack of my life. I have like three periods. Beatles, the 60s, because of my mom and my daddy. My father was a singer and composer. So soul and funk and jazz before the 60s, then the 60s and the 80s. For me, the soundtrack of my life has to be with that.
Yeah, one of my favorite things about acting is that I can travel through the time, and it's like the art crew, they are so talented.
Yes.
What's
production design?
Yeah, production design. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Our production designer is amazing.
And also because we lived in a hotel, so we literally are we're living in the 80s.
Exactly. And wardrobe, makeup, all the artists and each department are amazing. So yeah, it's crazy to travel in time.
I know.
Absolutely. Gracias. Thank you so much.